Hi, Claire here from My Mortgage, and today I want to talk a little bit about buying a property in New Zealand if you weren't born here. So if you've come from overseas and you've thought New Zealand is a great place to move to and make our home here, there are a couple of things that you want to bear in mind if you're looking to buy a property. Number one is that you probably don't have KiwiSaver. So KiwiSaver is our sort of compulsory savings scheme for retirement. In order to use that money to purchase your first home, which is the only time you can take it out before you retire, you need to have been in KiwiSaver for 3 years. So for a lot of people who have come into New Zealand, they may not have quite made that time period, or they might not have been here that long before they want to buy a property. So that probably means that you maybe need to bring money from other countries. There are plenty of ways in which you can do that, but one thing you need to be really mindful of is our anti-money laundering laws here in New Zealand. So your lawyer will guide you through that, but essentially it's the process by which you have money coming through to your New Zealand bank account, and making sure that you can document that whole process just to cover off the fact that you're not doing anything crazy with that money, let's put it that way. As a New Zealand resident, so there's generally two categories of residency. One is the initial residency that you get once you've met all of the criteria, and the second is the permanent residency without travel conditions. So these are slightly different things when it comes to lending. So the first is probably still possible to buy a property in New Zealand, but we normally have to check that out with the respective bank and check with your solicitor as well that you're eligible to own property in New Zealand. The second, with the no travel conditions and the permanent residency, absolutely fine to purchase property as you would with any other New Zealand citizen or someone that has been born here, so that's great. In terms of the deposit requirement, if you haven't been in New Zealand very long, you'd want to be aiming for at least 20% deposit. Reason for that is most of the first home buyer lower deposit lending is reserved for Kiwi citizens or people who have married into a Kiwi family. So generally they do reserve that lending for people born in New Zealand. However, there are exceptions, and I've had a few in my time where people have come from overseas, or maybe they've met overseas and it's a Kiwi and someone from the UK or Canada or Australia or Ireland or somewhere like that. So yeah, definitely something to check in with us on. Overall, the last thing you will need is to have a permanent job, whether or not that's a contract which states that you're eligible to work here and that you have something ongoing work-wise, or it might be a contract that means you're intending to work here at some point in the future. So talk to us about that and we can guide you through the process. So if you're not from New Zealand, there are still plenty of options for you to buy here. We would love to help you with that process, and we're doing that with so many other people. Please get in touch with us, mymortgage.co.nz/contact, or you can email me directly, claire@mymortgage.co.nz.